Hello, Women's Rodeo World Championship Facebook page and viewers out there in Facebook world. We got WCRA with you today, our president, Bobby Moat, vice president, Scott Davis, and chief marketing officer, JD Kraus, and myself, Sammy Jo Smith, associate vice president of athlete initiatives. We're so excited that you guys are joining us today. We will be giving away 2 pairs of tickets to the PBR World Finals today. So those of you that are going to be around Arlington, Texas on November 12th and 13th, we have tickets for you. So to be entered to earn to receive those tickets today, all you have to do is just ask questions about the Women's Rodeo World Championship. We have we're closing in on deadlines to enter the Women's Rodeo World Championship, and we do not want you to miss out on this $750,000 guaranteed payout event that's going to be happening November 8th through the 15th. All qualifying rounds will happen in Fort Worth, Texas, the 8th through the 12th, and then the top 6 championship round in each discipline will be during the PBR Finals performances in Arlington, Texas, inside AT&T Stadium, live on CBS Sports, potentially 50,000 fans in the seats, really just an electric crowd that will be awarding $60,000 to the breakaway roping, barrel racing, heading, and heeling champion there. So again, a lot.
20,000 to the all-around.
And yes, thanks, Bobby. $20,000.
And a coach saddle.
Give it to him, Scott. Tell him about that all around.
And a coach saddle in the all around. And Bobby,
and a Jesse James buckle. Beautiful buckles. Yep.
Yeah, so a lot of exciting things happening. Oh, and let's not forget, it is the richest week of women's rodeo with the Cowgirl Gathering, WPRA Finals in Waco, our event. You do not want to not be in Fort Worth, Texas, the week of November 8th. And to get in, if you're not entered yet, you can enter up until October 25th. All you have to do is go to entrytool.com, the entry feelers, and pretty much as simple as that. We do have a challenger and a pro pool. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but enter, right? That's all it really takes. And for those of you that have been participating in the women's leaderboard, nominating, earning points to be in the top 64, disputes have now ended, and we're just finalizing everything. And tomorrow at tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, it's a lot of dates, we will be finalizing the leaderboard 100%, contacting you if you're in the top 64, and entries will open next Tuesday. So I know I just threw a lot of information out, but let's slow it down just for a second. Scott, if I can share the competition schedule, maybe will you just cover that really quick for us and share with our viewers when they will be competing?
Am I kind of like the weatherman? Like every segment, he gets the weather. Every segment, I get the schedule. I'm the schedule guy.
Exactly.
To the side here, you'll see the display. Hopefully, Sammy Jo can maybe zoom in on it a little bit. But we're going to kick things off. This is the lion's share of this will occur, as we've said before, at the Will Rogers Memorial Complex in Fort Worth. Tremendous facility. Sunday evening, we're going to run the fast track round. That's all the ladies that won a fast track qualifier position, 16 or less, based on who was 1 through 4 in the leaderboard and qualified to the main event. Those girls kick it off Sunday night. 4 of them are going to seal their position in the main event just with that single fast track run in the barrel racing. So then we get into Monday. As you'll see, the barrel racing rounds of competition, they'll compete once each day over Monday and Tuesday with the leaderboard pool and the open pools and the challengers. We'll also consume a couple of days' time in the afternoon each day at Will Rogers with the team roping, from the fast track to the leaderboard to the Elite 18 on Monday. And then Tuesday, we'll do the open pools of the team roping, and include the redemption round and the open progressive round. We get into Wednesday, we're going to finish up that barrel racing with the Elite 18, the redemption round, and the progressive round, and then dive right into breakaway roping later in the day. I think Thursday morning, we're tentatively scheduled to need to clean up a little bit of the breakaway roping, but Thursday is the big day when the main event starts. You'll hear Bobby talk about later. It's all about getting to the main event, right? So whether you come through the leaderboard, whether you come through the multiple entry opportunities in the Challenger or the Open, those are all opportunities to get to be one of those 24 ladies that run first on Thursday, and then we cut the field to the 12. And so it's 24-12 on Thursday. And then we go to AT&T, as you talked about, during the PBR World Finals, all the PBR fan base, the big TV and media around that. We'll do team roping on Friday night. We'll do barrel racing on Saturday night. And we'll do breakaway roping on Sunday. And at some point within those three, we'll also give away that $20,000 all-around bonus, coach saddle. And everybody that gets into the building is going to get a ton of money. $60,000 to the winner, $5,000 the last place, guaranteed if you make it to AT&T in front of the PBR. So there you have it, the schedule. And Sammy Jo, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, and for those of you that are wondering, well, where are the times? When will we know what time exactly we'll be competing? Just know that once entries close, we will be finalizing those times. And we'll contact everybody directly that's already entered, as well as anybody that, entered what those times are. So just know times to be determined, but that's absolutely the schedule of what day you will be competing in each of those disciplines. And Caressa, you have a great question here. Will the WRWC become an annual event? Bobby, you want to take that one?
Yeah, this is just the first year, but yeah, absolutely. This is the inaugural Women's Rodeo World Championship. We're going to be coming out here within weeks and announcing what the dates are next year. It'll still be held in conjunction with the PBR World Finals. We got shuffled around a little bit this year just because of COVID and having to move the PBR World Finals and the Women's Rodeo World Championship to Fort Worth from Las Vegas. But yes, it's an annual event, and we look for it to grow and continue to get better and better.
Absolutely. And Cheyenne Leo was asking if we're going to be on the Cowboy channel. Scott, do you want to talk about what streaming services we will be available on?
So right now, all of the qualifying rounds from Will Rogers, as well as the championship rounds at AT&T, will be covered on Ride Pass. We're going to have an opportunity to feature some of the gals at AT&T on CBS Sportsnet, as I understand, and there is a potential. We are having conversations with a couple of other media platforms. I'm not at liberty to say, but she might be on to something with her question. So we'll know more in a few days, and we're really excited about those opportunities. And we hope that if you can't join us in Fort Worth, that I know that you'll be able to watch it on Ride Pass, potentially a couple of other platforms. So if you can't be there with us, you will be able to watch it. And more news to come on all the media platforms where Women's Rodeo World Championship will be available.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are just joining us, as a reminder, every question asked today does put you into it's an entry, excuse me, to win tickets for the PBR World Finals. We have a pair for Thursday night and a pair for Friday night, November 12th and 13th in Arlington, Texas at AT&T Stadium. So ask your questions about the Women's Rodeo World Championship. We are here for you today to answer your questions. And Paula is asking, when will the tickets for the WRWC go on sale? Scott, you got that one too?
I'll take that one. The qualifying rounds and the beginning portion of the main event is non-ticketed, accessible to the public at Will Rogers. The PBR tickets are on sale, right? That's where it's all going to go down. The 6 best women in each of these disciplines, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And look, if you're buying tickets to see these gals, you're going to see the best bull riding in the world Sunday, and they're going to crown their, world champion right in front of everybody. And the women get to share that stage. So what a better place. But you can visit PBR.com for more information on their tickets to AT&T, and just come on out and see us at Will Rogers if you'd like to, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Awesome. And then Carissa has another question for us. You're getting those entries in, Carissa. But back to the schedule for the top 4 that go directly to the main event. You said on Thursday, there are no other eliminations round before that, correct? So I think Carissa right here is talking about number 1 through 4 on the leaderboard, right? Carissa, you're absolutely right. They go directly into the main event, which that first round, the top 24, will be on that Thursday. And so everybody 1 through 4, they're not eligible to compete in any of these other qualifying rounds. So you are right on it. They do not compete in anything else but the main event.
And Bobby can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's guaranteed payday in that set of 24, which I'm sure we'll be going over later in the session today. But those 4 are gonna get a paycheck when they show up on Thursday.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to talk about money, I like money. Everybody else probably likes money too. Here's what we've done. We've taken, in year 1, we've taken $750,000, and we've said we're gonna divide it equally between all 4 disciplines: barrel racing, breakaway roping, heading, and heeling. We took $544,000 of it and we put that in the main event. Okay, that the $60,000 at the end, that's included in that. But that's in the main event. In the qualifying rounds is $206,000. Again, that's all divided equally. It's kind of irregardless of participation. And so that's where, like in the team roping, my daughter was asking me this today. She's like, okay, so if I'm in the challenger team roping, is it going to pay different than say the leaderboard team roping qualifying rounds? And the answer is no. All the rounds are going to pay the same. There's 2 rounds and an average. Barrel racing's paid out on 16, or actually qualified on 16 fastest times, but also paid them 2 rounds and an average. And so those qualifying rounds are a great opportunity to earn money just in themselves. Obviously, getting to the main event is a huge opportunity. But the bottom line is this: if you're a cowgirl, if you believe that cowgirls have been underserved in rodeo, that they've had one event, everybody watches the barrel race, and you've heard the thing, they get up and get their beer during the barrel race, and like, that's a crop. I've been to Thomas and Mack during the NFR when the barrel racing is one of the highly contested events in the rodeo. Half or more of rodeo's demographics are women, and we just feel like it's high time that there's something for them, like more incentive to make it better. Well, we've all seen the latest surge in breakaway roping. WCRA was part of that, including breakaway roping as equal, what's called equal money, in that we're not paying the bareback riders or bull riders one thing and the breakaway ropers something else. Everybody's the same. They all put the same fuel in their truck and pay the same entry fees, and the same effort every day in the practice pen, buying horses, taking care of stuff. They earn the same money. And so to the first question, is this an annual event? This is an annual event, and we see the potential for women's rodeo to grow and become huge. Nobody's done it to date, unfortunately, and we just feel like somebody needs to step up and do it. We have the platform to do it. Our partners with the PBR, they obviously recognize huge potential for women's rodeo, and so that's why they're involved. I mean, they see that as an opportunity to grow their fan base and grow the Western industry exponentially. And so there's so many women who team roped or breakaway roped in high school or college, and then there was nowhere for them to go with it after that, and so they stopped. There's got to be incentive at the end. So what we're trying to do is create the incentive. So this year we said, let's start out by guaranteeing $750,000. That's not been done. We could have said we're going to give 2/3 of it to the barrel racing because there's lots of barrel racers and everybody thinks that they're going to, lead in participation. We didn't do that, and that's not the case actually. And we've seen a lot of team roping, a lot of gals come and getting back into team roping or making a point to travel to these events to enter the team roping at these all girls. We're seeing producers who are coming out of the woodworks putting on new all girl team ropings. And so the very week of the Women's Rodeo World Championship at Fort Worth at the Stockyards, our friends at the American Paint Horse Association, they're producing what's called the Cowgirl Gathering. They're adding $50,000 to the weekend for barrel racing, for team roping, for breakaway roping. And it's an all-girl event. They have all female speakers, influential, in the space speakers coming, shopping. It's going to be a great event. If you're a cowgirl or a fan of rodeo, great thing to attend. But this is just a glimpse. I mean, we haven't even had this thing yet. And you see, and I'm not saying that the only reason that they're doing is it because of our event. They deserve all the credit in the world for stepping out and doing what they're doing. But I will say that I would look for more and more events like this, which will add to the incentive for cowgirls everywhere to take this more seriously. It's not that they don't have the skill or the ability or the desire. The incentive has yet to be there for them. We've seen the incentive in barrel racing. There's thousands and thousands of barrel racers, barrel horses all over at all levels. We believe that rodeo, women's rodeo in general, heading, heeling, breakaway rope, and barrel racing could see a huge surge in participation and money and opportunity and sponsorships. If anybody has followed WCRA social media, they see that, we've made, I don't know if I'd say stars, but we've certainly made the social community aware of a lot of these ladies through the course of this year and over the course of the last couple of years with breakaway roping and barrel racing, and the platform that they're going to be able to compete on in AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play is a network TV platform. So they're not going to hold the presidential debate on one cable channel. They're going to have it on network TV. They'll also have the Women's Rodeo World Championship final round on network TV. And so those sponsorship opportunities, those chances for these ladies to become household names, and for people who are sitting in a hotel at a Holiday Inn or a bar at Buffalo Wild Wings to watch this and say, wow, I didn't know that these ladies could do that. Look how good they are, and become fans. These are all part of our initiative. And so everybody on the team is pretty keen to make this not only the first event, but the smallest event, and every year make it bigger and better.
Absolutely.
If I could jump in, I just want to add something. So PBR was founded 28 years ago. PBR is arguably, I say legitimately, the most well-recognized Western sports group in all of Western sports, all of the Western industry. And the fact, it's easy to just say, well, the PBR is excited about women's rodeo. Look, girls, ladies, the PBR is excited about women's rodeo. Okay. 28 years ago, they started off with 20 guys, and they have built this thing into an amazing business. And Sean Gleason, the CEO, and our CEO, Gary McKinney, they see the power in women's rodeo and making you all famous and elevating y'all to the big stages for the biggest money. And it's a big deal. There's a lot of bigs there, but the fact that PBR, our partner, wants to invest in women's rodeo, and the fact that you have an opportunity right now, whether you've participated on the leaderboard or whether you want to put your chips down and enter the open pool, you can come and participate in the inaugural event of the Women's Rodeo World Championships, just like the 20 that started the PBR. You could be a founding part of this thing. And so I just want to put a big exclamation point on that, because it's easy to just look over that like, well, PBR is excited about it. No, they bring network television. They bring the biggest stadiums. Ownership of PBR owns UFC, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, and I think that is a perfect transition to two questions that have been asked. Lauren Meyer was saying, hi, how do you qualify or enter the women's rodeo event? And Sarah wants to know, what's the age requirement to become a member? So I think just to generally answer, right, how do I compete at the Women's Rodeo World Championship if this is the first time hearing about it? Who wants to take that one?
Well, I'll take it. I mean, and so the option to enter open is possibly a limited time option. And the reason why we offer it right now is just because we know that it's new. We spend a lot of time, a lot of effort trying to get our messaging out there. It's hard for anybody and takes time to get something out there. And so people have to hear about it. And just like you may be hearing about this for the first time and have missed the opportunity to qualify 3 points. And the good news is you can still enter open. And Sammy Joe will reiterate what those entries opening and entries closing dates are. And you go to entrytool.com, you set up a profile, and you can enter. You can enter actually 2 times in these open pools. And we even have opportunities within entering open that allow you, if you're not a professional, to compete against like skilled people. So if you're a barrel racer and you haven't won $30,000 any of the last 3 years, then you'll not be thrown in against the pros, but be against people who have won under that threshold. Same thing in the breakaway roping. If you've won under a certain amount of money in the last 3 years, then you would be what's considered a challenger. And so identical paths for advancement to the main event, but the difference is the first 2 rounds on the average, you compete against a different group of people. And so all of these things are to try to create more opportunities for more people to earn money and have opportunities for advancement. And so that's a great question. And the second question was, how old do you have to be to become a member? Important to understand that we're not an association and we don't sell memberships, but we do offer the opportunity to enter and compete within our system to anybody who's 13 years or older. And in this case, a female. Yeah.
Biological female. Sorry, Marcus. Yeah. I know you want to enter as Macy, but not today, my friend. So I did just share this entries and deadlines. This is kind of a summary. As we mentioned at the top of the live, we're really closing in on being able to enter and participate in this event. So for the open pool, which is, as Bobby mentioned, anybody can enter. It's here on the left side. You'll see that the entry deadline is October 25th at 11:59 p.m. Central, and it's currently $750 to enter. That's 1 entry per discipline. And as Bobby mentioned, there is a challenger pool that you can enter and a pro pool. And our team can help you determine whether you're challenger or pro eligible. You just need to contact us at support@wcrarodeo.com. And then for those of you that wait, but then decide, oh, I really want to go, November 2nd through the 6th, we do have a late entry window, and it would be $1,000 to enter. And just simple as this, how to enter, you go to entrytool.com, register or log in. And know, for those of you that have a login for the VRQ, where you go to nominate, it's the same login. You do not need to create a separate login for that. Then you select your pro or challenger pool, select your discipline, and check out. And big reminder here, no walk-ups are going to be taken at this event. You must pre-enter. So for those that want to be in the open, that's how you get in. And then for those of you that have been participating in the leaderboard pool, the deadline to nominate and earn points was this past Sunday, October 18th. As I mentioned, we're in the process right now of finalizing the leaderboard. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, it will be 100% final. And then, so for those of you that are going to be in the top 64 of our leaderboard in each discipline, and we will contact you tomorrow to verify whether you're inside the top 64 or outside of it, you will actually enter the event October 27th through the 29th at entrytool.com. There is no entry fee. So if you go to entrytool.com right now, you will see the ability to enter the open pool. And you can. Everybody competing in the leaderboard pool can enter the open up to 2 times per discipline. Team ropers, you can't pre-enter with the same partner in the leaderboard and the open, but you can find another partner that's, say, competing in the leaderboard pool, and you can enter 1 time with them in the open. So if you have questions about that, do not hesitate to reach out to our team, and we can help explain this. But the entries for the open pool are different than the entries for the leaderboard pool. And the other question we're getting is, if I'm number 1 through 4 on the leaderboard, do I have to enter? The answer is yes, same entry timeline. And everybody that's 5 through 64 will enter. Those of you that have a fast track qualification, your entry into the leaderboard pool covers your entry into the fast track. And then lastly, those of you that are outside of the top 64, but maybe you're close, you're now considered an alternate, and you can enter the event as an alternate during the same time frame, October 27th through the 29th. And if people draw out that are in the top 64, there's a chance we could drop down and pick you up as an alternate. So don't miss that opportunity either. And you might as well enter the open, so you're already going to be there. And then if we need an alternate, we'll pick you up, and now you'll get to compete in both paths, both pools. And then the process. Go ahead.
If I might add on that, if you're entered in the open pool or in the open pool along with the leaderboard pool, and you qualify through the leaderboard, because that takes place first, then basically you can get your fees back, correct, for your open entry.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I mean, it's pretty good insurance. Really good insurance, actually.
Absolutely. So
especially if you're coming from a long way away or something like that, right? The multiple entry and the leaderboard plus an open entry, those, as Bobby pointed out, those are great insurance policies if you're traveling a long ways away. And look, there's no reason you shouldn't be. This is the most money in the history of women's sports available in North Texas that week. The most history in the history of women's rodeo available in North Texas that week.
Yeah, and for the barrel racers that are listening to us right now, and they're like, man, I just don't want to put that many runs on my horse. Say you're only bringing maybe 1 and a backup. Don't forget, you can roll your time from the leaderboard pool to the open pool in the qualifying rounds. So that is another insurance plan to, you're already entered in the leaderboard pool. If you pay the $750 today, your time from the leaderboard counts in the open pool. So now you've got 2 shots with the 1 run at getting into the main event from those. Now, once you progress out of the qualifier rounds into the Elite 18 and the progressive, you would have to make your live run in those rounds, but you could choose. Maybe you want to stay in the Elite 18 and drop out of the progressive, whatever. At least you're giving yourself 2 chances from the open and the leaderboard at progressing to those next rounds. So that is the entering the open and the leaderboard pool. And then the last path on this side is just talking about the team roping pairing info. So team ropers, listen up. I'm talking to you. We will be sending out tomorrow Friday, October 23rd at 10 a.m., a complete list of the eligible 64 headers and healers that will need to pair together for the leaderboard pool. We will also have a separate pairing list for the fast track pool for the team roping. So those competing in the fast track will pair up with the eligible headers and healers. That's one list. And then 5 through 64 that's roping together in the leaderboard pool, that'll be a separate list, and you'll pick your partner. Now, again, if you're number 1 through 4 on the leaderboard, you're waiting until we know who the top 24 are in the main event to select your partner. So if you're looking at the list of who's 1 through 4, you're not required to rope with whoever was 1 through 4. You're waiting to know who all 24 are competing in the main event to pick your partner. But then back to now these pairing lists that we're going to send out for the leaderboard pool and the fast track pool. You will email our team at event secretary from October 23rd through the 26th to confirm your pairing. And then what's really cool is once your pairing's confirmed, because you both have individual header and healer points, we add your points together, and the total combined team points determines your rank in the 64 when you compete in those qualifier rounds. So that's what this graphic is explaining. We'll share this on our Facebook page so all of you can review it. And again, if you have questions, drop them in the comments right now, because that enters you to win PBR Finals tickets. So let's look back over at our questions. We're seeing, so exciting for the ladies of Rodeo. And Marcus, I just had to toss that out there. I'm excited for everyone competing. So we appreciate all of you that are joining us today. I do want to kick it over to you, JD, because I think we actually skipped over up top here. Casey Allen asked, are stalls going to be available on the grounds, and will fast track contestants or leaderboard qualifiers have stall preference? So will you cover that?
Absolutely. Would it be okay if you'll share my screen, and then I'll just talk about how to enter real quick,
Yep.
Just show them what it looks like. So this is entrytool.com, and you just sign up for a free account. And if you want to enter the Women's Rodeo World Championships as a challenger, you click here, and there's the disciplines right there. And as Sammy Jo alluded to, there's a lot of information on our website about what it is to be a challenger. And then the open to the world pool is right here entering as a pro. So it's really simple, entrytool.com. And now let's talk about stalls. So yes, there are stalls available, and there are RV hookups available. And how you find out about them is you go to openstalls.com. This is new technology that we've released into the wild, and it is built by our technology sister company, Rodeo Logistics, which is on this side of my shirt right here, and this is our Rodeo Logistics logo. It's hard to see. I'm like, geez, I feel I'm not very ambidextrous or something.
What's the joke? Make a circle with your foot.
Yeah, pat my head.
Yeah, right.
But openstalls.com. And you just basically go to this event right here, Women's Rodeo World Championship. Click book now, and you just go in here to the number of stalls you want and the check-in, check-out date, and the price of the stalls. Let's just go to 1 so you can see the price. We price this really really aggressively for you ladies who are traveling and want to stay at the Will Rogers facility. $175 for the whole week. So the 8th, and then checking in on the 8th, and then checking out on the 16th. And then you can also add your RV spots. We have you in the VIP section. If you want to stay in your trailer right there, you can actually use the same dates as your stall reservation. And it's $65 for a night, full hookup. And then you just simply check out. And it's super fast, super easy. And I'll show you really quick if I can share a different screen. Please, if you have any questions about that. I know that Casey, Sammy Jo, would you answer her question about a Nominate when you're in fast track qualifiers?
Yeah, and Casey, you asked too, will they get a free stall still? The answer is yes. So for the number 1 through 4 on the leaderboard, and all of our fast track qualifiers receive 1 complimentary stall per athlete. And so with that, if you need additional stalls, you'll go through the prompt that JD just showed to reserve your additional stalls. But then our team will contact you directly about the complimentary stall, and our team will also make sure that they're by each other, right? So in terms of getting preference, JD, of where their stalls are, we have not talked about that for my knowledge. But yeah. Casey, great suggestion. We'll definitely talk about it. I think all of the stall locations really are going to be in one central location. And I think, JD, that's what you're getting ready to show right here.
Yeah. So basically, if you've never been to Will Rogers Memorial Center, and I'll see if I can blow this up a little bit more, you're going to enter off of Trail Drive. So Trail Drive is an east-west. I don't know if you can see my cursor there wiggling on the right. And you'll enter in there into gate 42 in the complex. And then you're going to be, let me blow this up a little bit bigger. Most everybody is going to be in barn 4 and barn 3. So literally it's right across from the Burnett building, and then the Coliseum obviously is right there. So the stalls are very, very close. And when you pull in, there'll be somebody to greet you at the gate. If you're not going to rent stalls, you'll park right here in the day hauler parking to the left of the entrance. If you are going to get stalls, there'll be somebody there to take care of you and explain. And if you're going to rent an RV hookup and you do that through open stalls, which is what we would prefer, so that we can take care of you the best, you'll just proceed straight ahead after you take care of your horses. And this is where the parking will be. So literally this is VIP RV parking. You're very close to the stadium, the Coliseum, and very close to your stalls. So,
well, and JD, if I might add, if you make your reservations in advance through openstalls.com, undoubtedly your experience stalling your horses is going to be much better. If we encourage you to do that, because we're going to be able to get you right in, you're going to be able to get your horses unloaded. If you do not do that, you'll be, the experience will be what you're normally accustomed to, where you've got to go to the stall office, potentially wait in line, depending on how many people are there. When you roll in, you might have to wait a little while to get your shavings, right? Openstalls.com is a solution for the renter and the facility that, as you said, Rodeo Logistics released early this summer. So we're really excited about encouraging all the ladies to use that to just advance and make really smooth their experience getting checked in and getting their partner's feet on the ground in a nice stall, and focus on competition and winning the event, right? So we can't encourage you enough. If you have friends that aren't listening to today's Facebook Live, but they're entering the Women's Rodeo World Championship, tell them about open stalls, encourage them to make their reservations there, and it'll be a lot cleaner, faster, sweeter experience getting checked in and on the ground in Fort Worth.
And let's just call it. Well, go ahead, Bobby.
Let me just add just a couple things to that. Like Scott said, now would be the time to jump on that, because after you went on a long drive and you get there, if you get there at the same time as everybody else does, and you got to wait in line, that just stinks. Everybody's done that, and that's going to knock on the facility. That's pretty much every facility. That's the case when there's a rush of people. The nice thing about this is you can find out what stall number you're in. You'll get confirmation. Find out what stall number that you're in. You can have requested how many bags of shavings you want in that stall, and you'll have a code to actually go to your stall and unlock it. You won't be waiting on some dude in a golf cart to show up eventually and unlock it and then bring your shavings. And so anybody who's traveled with horses can appreciate that. Another thing that I noticed on your map, in the Burnett building, there's a vet office. Outlaw Equine will be providing the vet services there on site. They'll be there the whole time, and they'll be set up there. So if you have something unfortunate happen and you need a vet, one of the best equine veterinarians in the business will be there all the time. Or if you need meds, or you need advice, or you need anything, they'll be on site right there at that vet clinic in the Burnett building. And so those are just some of the things that we know, because we've traveled with horses and we understand how valuable your partners are to you and how important that they are for you to be feeling good, so that you have the chance to win something. And so we got off barrel racing pretty quickly, but in the same vein with the barrel racing, like, there's some links that we went to that may be just a little bit further than that average producer or promoter. And so in the barrel racing, like, we've had the same tractor driver at all of our events that have taken place at the Lazy E, all of our semifinals events. And I have heard nothing but good about the ground conditions. This guy, we fly him in, he comes down and he's like a ground expert, and he will be a fanatic about making sure that the ground is as good as possible. We'll take it a step further and we'll hand rake after each run, and all the qualifying rounds and all the main event runs. And so we know how important that is. And if you're third or you're fifth and there's huge ruts, a long ways to haul to have luck of the draw be one of the things that make you 1/10 too slow to advance. And so that's something else that we do. And then, as Sammy Joe mentioned earlier, you can roll your times. So you can multiply your opportunities to win money in advance, but minimize the runs on your horse. And so those are all things related to your horse's comfort, safety, well-being that I wanted to make sure that we brought up.
Absolutely. And Carissa, to your question of where can we find that facility stall diagram, we actually create an athlete webpage for all of the athletes participating at our events. We will be distributing that the first of next week, and that'll include, of course, that stall diagram, as well as hotel information, the detailed schedule that we'll be releasing with times, pretty much everything you need to know about being a competitor will be on that athlete webpage. And earlier, I think there was also a question about, Tamara Mann, for those that make it to the top 6 at AT&T, will they have a companion pass? And on that athlete webpage as well, Tamara, we will explain how many tickets you'll receive. We do have to be cognizant of the COVID guidelines, especially with our partner PBR, working side by side with them. So just know that for those of you coming to participate at our events, we want everyone to be safe, and we're going to do the best to, have a few guidelines out there of keeping everybody safe. But more to come, and all of that will be on the athlete webpage.
I like her language there. For those of us that make it to AT&T, I think that's what she said anyway, right? That's, I mean, hey, if you're coming, that's where you got to end up, right?
And if I recall, Tamara and her daughter are roping in the team roping together.
Oh, nice.
So that'd be a pretty cool duo to see roping in AT&T Stadium.
What a
so
story.
We're rooting for you, Tamara.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really quick, we're closing in on our 1 hour. I want to do a last call for any questions. Again, you'll be entered to receive PBR Finals tickets on Thursday and Friday night. And Nancy Cribbs just asked what horse papers are required. Great question. JD, will you take that?
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that if you are coming from inside of the state of Texas, you just need to have a Coggin. If you're coming from outside of the state of Texas, you need to have a current Coggins and a 30-day or less health paper. So,
Perfect.
and we'll be checking those at the gate.
And the facility does require us to check those papers. So get the word out to your friends. If they're not listening today, we will be required to check health papers. That's a mandate from the facility. So,
yeah, absolutely. And Rhonda, does WCRA and WPRA work together? Biggest thing I want to just point out with the finals happening in Waco, our teams have been working together, right? In terms of making sure you guys can compete at the Cowgirl Gathering, WPRA finals, and our event. So, yeah, we do for this week. And we hope to see you all enter and come participate at all of these huge events happening in the industry for women right now. So we really appreciate all of you joining us. Bobby, on our agenda, we had one more item that I'd really love for you to cover, and that's talking about the electric eye for team roping.
Yeah, so in the breakaway roping, we're going to have a traditional rodeo rope barrier. In the team roping, we're going to have an electric eye. The score will set based on, the speed of the cattle. 16-foot box, 16 by 10 box. That's the new the pre-fert box. It's not a solid box, so we're not going to be capping anybody's horse's hocks on there. It's the newest adjustable box that pre-fert makes. 16 by 10 regular pre-fert competition chute. We'll set the score according. Bobby Joe Hill Cattle Company is bringing the steers, great steers. They will be appropriate for the size of the building, and we'll do our best to set it to where it's not just nod and ride, but we don't want anybody getting bounced off the back of the arena either. So it'll be set right. Anybody who's ever been to our events could echo the fact that we go to great lengths to make sure that we've got the right stock and the conditions. And so we know it's hard enough to win as it is. There's no reason to have conditions to make it any more challenging than it already is. Let's let the competition sort it out. Yeah,
perfect. And Lewis said, I like your WCRA hat. Where can I buy one? Lewis, we will have merchandise for sale on site at our events. Thank you for the plug. So everybody make sure to bring some cash with you and get some WCRA branding on your hat or shirts or whatever suits you. And Marcus, we did see your question earlier. I apologize, I skipped over it, of how excited wondering how excited we all are to see this event come together. And I think I can speak for the whole team and say we are pumped. We're so excited to watch these champions inside AT&T Stadium win $60,000 plus an all-around champion winning $20,000, a coat saddle, amazing championship buckles. I mean, the all-around, you're used to seeing awards, prizes, but that $20,000 check to go with it. I'm still rooting for Larry D. Guy to get on a barrel horse. So we'll see what happens. And that's another thing. It's going to be fun watching. So for those of you living in the Fort Worth area, come out, come see us, say hi, and root these girls on. So closing thoughts before we announce a winner? Bobby, I'll take it to you first.
Well, just to finish up on, your discussion about the all-around points. So you earn points through all the qualifying rounds. So I think, I might be speaking out of turn, but I think that I saw Larry D. Larry D doesn't heal all the time, but she is entering the healing. She's recognized the fact that she needs to give herself as many opportunities for points as possible toward that all around. They all add up from the qualifying rounds all the way to the final round. And forever, you win an event title or you win an all around title, there's a buckle, there's a saddle. That's nice, and everybody likes saddles and buckles, but a cash bonus, like, that's a step in the direction that I think it should have been a long time ago. If you win the all around, especially at a prestigious event, a hard to win title, there should be a cash bonus associated with it, because you spent more money, more time, more effort, and had more skill, and more things went your way to win it. And so I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see it grow. As I said earlier, this is the biggest thing that's happened in women's rodeo. And I hope that this is the smallest event that we do. And so I hope that it just continues to get bigger and better, more recognition for these ladies. And we see people coming up through the ranks and out of the woodworks to join in and participate.
Absolutely. Scott, closing thoughts?
Enter now. You can enter right now. You can enter multiple times. Send this to your friends, right? I mean, like all the money that's available in North Texas between the Women's Rodeo World Championship, our friends and partners at the Cowgirl Gathering, as well as our acquaintances with the WPRA Finals in Waco, right? What was it, Bobby? Like 1.2 million? If you're a competitive woman in this industry, you should be in North Texas. We have the challenger opportunities in the open pool. There are re-entry opportunities. Once you get there, if things don't go your way, if you've come a long way, you have a chance for multiple entries. Go to entrytool.com, take a week off work, bring your family, whatever it takes. If you're a woman in rodeo, competitive in rodeo, come see us that week, right? Like, this is a huge event, historic on so many fronts. $750 entry fee. That's a sizable entry fee, but it's $750,000 event, right? Enter entrytool.com. It's that simple. If you get in there and you have questions, just pull the trigger, then email support. We're going to get you fixed up. If you're a challenger, we'll make sure you get in the challenger level of competition. If you're a pro, we'll make sure you get into the pro levels of competition. This is not just for breakaway and team roping. This is for the barrel racing. Bobby pointed out the money in the rounds. There's no better time to be a female in the sport of rodeo than right now. And in my opinion, there is no better event to attend and enter than the Women's Rodeo World Championship. Entrytool.com.
Well, one more thing on that though, Scott. You'd mentioned $750, and that's a lot. That's a high entry fee when you compare it to a $150 entry fee somewhere. But what we didn't say is we're going to write 312 checks over the course of that week. That's not projected. If we get over X amount of entries, we're going to write 312 checks if no one else enters. And so put your name on the back of one. I mean, that's the whole idea. And so, you can go to a Sunday afternoon jackpot and burn up $750 to have a chance to win hundreds. I mean, really and truly, and lots of wear and tear on your horse and stuff. And by the time you go to the entry office to go square up for all the times you entered, it'd be like $750 really. So I mean, the odds, you get more bang for your buck, more opportunity, especially if you can get there to the final round. And so there's money all along the way. As I mentioned before, we've put $554,000 into the main event, but we put $206,000 into the qualifying events. And so,
yeah,
come get it.
A lot of money.
Get it. Absolutely. All right. Well, we're getting close to the top of the hour. So JD, will you do me the honor? And we are first going to announce the winner of the Thursday night tickets for the PBR finals. And drum roll. And
you were gonna do drum roll. I was thinking Christmas Vacation. All right. And Paula Thompson is our first winner Thursday night.
Paula Thompson, you win Thursday night tickets.
Yeah.
And
to
Friday
the PBR World Finals.
Yes.
PBR, we got a Friday winner. Here we go.
All right. Casey Allen.
Casey Allen.
Yes.
So Paula, Casey, I will message you directly to get your information. We'll work together to have tickets for you at will call. And we're excited. Thank you all for joining us today. Please, please share this video. Help us spread the word. We are so excited to see you November 8th through the 15th in Fort Worth, Texas at the Women's Rodeo World Championship, where we will be awarding a guaranteed, even across 4 disciplines, $750,000. You don't want to miss it. So we appreciate you all, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, Laura, ask a question a little earlier. You're a little late to the party, girl.
And she knows a guy.
And she knows a guy, yes.
Probably going to see him at supper.
What'd she ask?
How much is stall rental?
Oh, you gotta have to go back and watch the whole video because we already got it.
There's Dad. Dad's gonna make it real easy on you, Laura.
She's been out roping, is what she's been doing.
Yeah, she's been working on her horses, trying to get ready for this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your day.
All right.
All right. Thank you.